In the year 2050, the world was a very different place. Humanity had made great progress in science and technology, but they were not alone in the universe. The Galactic Empire, a vast civilization spanning countless star systems, had set its sights on Earth. One day, a message arrived from the depths of space. The Galactic Empire demanded that Earth submit to their rule and become a part of their intergalactic dominion. The leaders of Earth were shocked by this sudden ultimatum. They had always believed that they were alone in the universe, but now they faced a threat from an advanced alien civilization. The President of the United Nations, a wise and determined woman named Sophia, knew that she had to act quickly. She called for an emergency meeting of all the world's leaders to discuss the situation and decide on a course of action. The meeting was held in a large conference room at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Leaders from every country on Earth were present, each with their own concerns and ideas about how to deal with the Galactic Empire. Some leaders argued that they should surrender to the Empire and hope for the best. They believed that resistance was futile against such a powerful enemy. Others, however, were determined to fight for Earth's freedom and independence. President Sophia listened carefully to each leader's arguments, weighing the pros and cons of each approach. After hours of intense discussion, she stood up and addressed the room. "My fellow leaders," she said, her voice filled with conviction, "we cannot surrender our planet to the Galactic Empire. Earth is our home, and we must defend it at all costs. We have the strength, the resourcefulness, and the unity to stand against this threat." The room fell silent as the leaders considered Sophia's words. Many nodded in agreement, realizing that surrender was not an option. Sophia continued, "I propose that we send a message back to the Galactic Empire, informing them that Earth is not interested in joining their dominion. We will not allow any member of the Empire to set foot on our planet. Earth is off limits to them, now and forever." The leaders erupted in applause, united in their resolve to protect their world. They knew that this decision would have consequences, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Over the next few days, the world's best scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to create a powerful transmission device capable of sending a clear message to the Galactic Empire. The device was a marvel of human ingenuity, combining cutting-edge technology with the determination of a species fighting for its survival. When the device was ready, President Sophia stood before it, ready to send the most important message in Earth's history. With a deep breath, she began to speak. "To the Galactic Empire," she said, her voice steady and clear, "we, the people of Earth, have made our decision. We will not submit to your rule. We will not allow any member of your empire to enter our world. Earth is hereby declared off-limits to you. Any attempt to invade our planet will be met with fierce resistance. We stand united in our resolve to protect our home." With those final words, Sophia pressed the button, and the message was sent hurtling through space, carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire planet. As the transmission ended, the leaders of Earth looked at each other with a mixture of pride and apprehension. They knew that they had taken a bold step, but they also understood that their journey was just beginning. The Galactic Empire would not take kindly to their defiance, and Earth would need to prepare for the challenges that lay ahead. But in that moment, as they stood together in the face of an uncertain future, the people of Earth knew that they had made the right choice. They had chosen to fight for their freedom, their independence, and their way of life. And no matter what the Galactic Empire had in store for them, they would face it together, as one planet, united in their determination to protect their home. News of Earth's defiant message to the Galactic Empire spread quickly across the galaxy. The Empire, known for its ruthless conquest of countless planets, was not used to such bold resistance. The Emperor himself, a formidable figure feared by many, was furious upon learning of Earth's refusal to submit to his rule. In his grand throne room, the Emperor summoned his top military strategists and advisors. The room was filled with an air of tension as they awaited his commands. The Emperor's voice boomed through the hall, his anger palpable as he spoke. "The insolent inhabitants of Earth dare to defy us," he growled, his eyes narrowing. "They have the audacity to declare their planet off-limits to the mighty Galactic Empire. This insult will not go unpunished." The advisors shifted uneasily, knowing the Emperor's wrath was not to be taken lightly. One of the strategists, a seasoned general named Zorth, stepped forward and bowed before the Emperor. "Your Majesty," Zorth began, choosing his words carefully. "Earth is a primitive planet compared to our vast empire. Their technology is no match for ours. We can easily crush their resistance and bring them to their knees." The Emperor leaned back in his throne, considering Zorth's words. "Yes, their defiance must be met with swift and decisive action. We will make an example of Earth, showing the galaxy what happens to those who dare to oppose us." The advisors nodded in agreement, eager to please their ruler. The Emperor turned to his trusted commander, a fierce warrior named Krelak. "Commander Krelak, you will lead our invasion force. Assemble our best ships and soldiers. We will strike fear into the hearts of the Earthlings and claim their planet as our own." Krelak bowed deeply, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. "As you command, Your Majesty. Earth will soon learn the true power of the Galactic Empire." As the meeting adjourned, the Emperor's orders were quickly relayed throughout the Empire. Massive warships were prepared, their weapons systems primed and ready. Legions of trained soldiers, equipped with advanced armor and weaponry, were assembled and briefed on their mission. The Galactic Empire's fleet, a formidable array of sleek and menacing vessels, set course for Earth. The journey would take some time, even with their advanced propulsion systems, but the Emperor's determination to conquer Earth fueled their progress. Back on Earth, the world's leaders knew that the Galactic Empire would not take their message lightly. They had bought themselves some time, but they needed to act quickly to prepare for the inevitable invasion. President Sophia once again called for a gathering of Earth's greatest minds, scientists, engineers, and military strategists from around the world came together to devise a plan to defend their planet. They knew that they were outmatched in terms of technology, but they believed that Earth's greatest strength lay in the ingenuity and resilience of its people. In secret laboratories and research facilities, Earth's brightest individuals worked tirelessly to develop new weapons and defensive systems. They studied the limited information they had on the Galactic Empire's technology, looking for weaknesses and vulnerabilities to exploit. The world's militaries also began to mobilize, training their forces in new tactics and strategies to combat the alien threat. Soldiers from different nations came together, united in their common goal of protecting Earth. As the days turned into weeks, the people of Earth lived in a state of constant preparation and vigilance. They knew that the Galactic Empire's arrival was imminent, and they were determined to be ready when the time came. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of Earth and its people. The Galactic Empire, with its vast resources and advanced technology, seemed an unstoppable force. But the people of Earth had something the Empire did not: a fierce determination to protect their home, and a willingness to fight against all odds. As the Empire's fleet drew ever closer, Earth braced itself for the greatest challenge it had ever faced. The battle for Earth's freedom was about to begin. As the Galactic Empire's fleet approached Earth, the planet's inhabitants worked tirelessly to prepare for the impending invasion. President Sophia had assembled a team of the world's most brilliant minds to develop a strategy to defend Earth against the advanced technology of the Empire. Leading the team was Dr. Lena Patel, a renowned astrophysicist who had dedicated her life to studying the universe and its mysteries. Alongside her was General Marcus Rodriguez, a seasoned military strategist known for his innovative tactics. Together, they devised a plan to leverage Earth's unique resources and the ingenuity of its people. They knew that they couldn't match the Empire's firepower directly, so they focused on finding ways to outsmart and outmaneuver their enemy. Dr. Patel and her team worked around the clock to develop new technologies that could give Earth a fighting chance. They created advanced cloaking devices that could hide Earth's cities and military bases from the Empire's sensors. They also developed powerful energy shields that could withstand the Empire's weapons, giving Earth's defenders a crucial advantage. Meanwhile, General Rodriguez trained Earth's military forces in unconventional warfare tactics. He knew that they couldn't face the Empire head-on, so he focused on hit-and-run attacks and guerrilla warfare. Earth's soldiers learned to use the planet's terrain to their advantage, setting up ambushes and traps to catch the Empire's forces off guard. As the Empire's fleet entered Earth's solar system, the planet's defenses were put to the test. The Empire's ships were massive and heavily armed, dwarfing anything Earth had ever seen. But thanks to the cloaking devices and energy shields, Earth's cities and military bases remained hidden from view. The Empire's commanders were confused and frustrated by their inability to locate their targets. They had expected an easy victory, but instead, they found themselves facing an invisible enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. As the Empire's forces landed on Earth, they were met with fierce resistance from Earth's military. General Rodriguez's tactics proved effective, with Earth's soldiers striking quickly and then disappearing into the shadows. The Empire's soldiers, used to overwhelming their enemies with brute force, found themselves outmaneuvered and outfought at every turn. Back in the Empire's command ship, the Emperor grew increasingly impatient with the lack of progress. He demanded answers from his commanders, but they had none to give. Earth's defenses were unlike anything they had ever encountered, and they were struggling to adapt. Sensing an opportunity, President Sophia reached out to the Empire's leadership, offering a chance for peaceful negotiations. She knew that Earth couldn't win a prolonged war against the Empire, but she hoped that they could find a way to coexist peacefully. To everyone's surprise, the Emperor agreed to meet with President Sophia. The two leaders came face to face on neutral ground, each sizing up the other. President Sophia was struck by the Emperor's imposing presence, but she refused to be intimidated. Over the course of several tense meetings, President Sophia and the Emperor negotiated a truce. The Emperor agreed to withdraw his forces from Earth on the condition that Earth would share its advanced technologies with the Empire. In return, the Empire would provide Earth with protection and access to its vast network of resources. It was a difficult decision for President Sophia, but she knew that it was the only way to ensure Earth's survival. She agreed to the Emperor's terms, and the two leaders signed a historic peace treaty. As the Empire's fleet withdrew from Earth's orbit, the planet's inhabitants celebrated their hard-won victory. They had faced the most powerful force in the galaxy and had emerged unbroken. Earth had proven itself to be a force to be reckoned with, and the galaxy would never be the same. In the years that followed, Earth and the Galactic Empire worked together to build a new era of peace and prosperity. Earth's advanced technologies helped to transform the Empire, while the Empire's vast resources helped to propel Earth to new heights. And at the center of it all was President Sophia, the woman who had led Earth through its darkest hour and into a brighter future. She had shown that with courage, determination, and a willingness to work together, anything was possible. Earth had faced the impossible and had emerged stronger than ever before. As the dust settled from the historic peace treaty between Earth and the Galactic Empire, a new era of cooperation and progress began. Earth's scientists and engineers worked closely with their counterparts from the Empire to develop new technologies that would benefit both civilizations. One of the most exciting developments was the creation of a new type of spacecraft, the Stellar Explorer. These ships were designed to travel faster and farther than any vessel in history, opening up new frontiers for exploration and discovery. The first Stellar Explorer mission was a joint venture between Earth and the Empire, with a crew made up of the best and brightest from both civilizations. The mission's objective was to chart a previously unexplored region of the galaxy, known as the Andromeda Frontier. As the Stellar Explorer set out on its groundbreaking journey, the crew marveled at the advanced technology that made the mission possible. The ship's engines were powered by a revolutionary new energy source, developed by Earth's scientists, that allowed the ship to travel at incredible speeds without the need for massive fuel reserves. The crew was led by Captain Arya Novak, a brilliant and fearless explorer from Earth who had earned the respect of both her own people and the Empire's leadership. Alongside her was Commander Zoran Krell, a gifted strategist and diplomat from the Empire who had been instrumental in negotiating the peace treaty between the two civilizations. As the stellar explorer ventured deeper into the Andromeda frontier, the crew encountered a host of new challenges and discoveries. They mapped uncharted star systems, studied strange new forms of life, and even made contact with previously unknown alien civilizations. One of the most significant discoveries came when the stellar explorer stumbled upon a massive ancient structure floating in the void of space. The structure was unlike anything the crew had ever seen, with intricate carvings and advanced technology that seemed to defy explanation. As the crew explored the structure, they discovered that it was a remnant of a long-lost civilization, one that had achieved incredible feats of science and engineering before vanishing without a trace. The crew worked tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the ancient civilization, hoping to learn from their achievements and avoid their fate. Meanwhile, back on Earth, and throughout the Empire, news of the stellar explorer's discoveries spread like wildfire. People marveled at the images and data sent back by the crew, and a new sense of excitement and possibility swept through both civilizations. But not everyone was thrilled by the prospect of a new era of cooperation and discovery. Some factions within the Empire, still bitter over their defeat at the hands of Earth's defenders, saw the Stellar Explorer mission as a threat to their power and influence. These factions began to plot in secret, hoping to sabotage the mission and undermine the fragile peace between Earth and the Empire. They saw the ancient structure as a potential weapon, one that could be used to tip the balance of power in their favor. As the Stellar Explorer crew delved deeper into the secrets of the ancient civilization, they unwittingly stumbled into the middle of this dangerous game of intrigue and betrayal. They found themselves caught between powerful forces, each with their own agendas and motivations. Captain Novak and Commander Krell knew that they had to act quickly to prevent a catastrophe. They worked together to uncover the plot against the mission, relying on their skills and experience to stay one step ahead of their enemies. In a desperate race against time, the Stellar Explorer crew fought to protect the fragile peace between Earth and the Empire. Knowing that the fate of both civilizations hung in the balance, they battled against impossible odds, facing danger and adversity at every turn. But in the end, their bravery and determination paid off. They uncovered the truth behind the ancient civilization's disappearance and exposed the plots of those who sought to plunge the galaxy back into war. The Stellar Explorer mission had succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams, not only charting new frontiers of science and exploration, but also forging a new bond between Earth and the Empire. The crew returned home as heroes, celebrated by both civilizations as the pioneers of a new era of peace and prosperity. And as the galaxy looked to the future with renewed hope and optimism, the crew of the Stellar Explorer knew that their journey was only the beginning. There were countless more mysteries to unravel, countless more frontiers to explore. And with Earth and the Empire working together, anything was possible. With the success of the Stellar Explorer mission, Earth and the Galactic Empire entered a new era of cooperation and shared prosperity. The two civilizations worked together to establish new trade routes, share scientific knowledge, and explore the vast reaches of the galaxy. However, not everyone was happy with this new alliance. A group of rebel fighters from the Empire, led by a charismatic and ruthless leader named Draxon, saw the partnership with Earth as a betrayal of the Empire's values and a threat to their way of life. Draxon and his followers believed that the Empire should be the sole dominant power in the galaxy, and that Earth's influence was corrupting the Empire from within. They began to launch a series of attacks on Earth's colonies and outposts, hoping to weaken the alliance and assert the Empire's supremacy. At first, the attacks were small and isolated, but as Draxon's movement grew in strength and numbers, the attacks became more frequent and more deadly. Earth's leaders knew that they had to act quickly to prevent the situation from escalating into a full-scale war. President Sofia once again turned to her most trusted advisors, including Dr. Lena Patel and General Marcus Rodriguez, to develop a strategy to counter Draxon's insurgency. They knew that they needed to find a way to cut off Draxon's support and resources, while also protecting Earth's citizens and interests. The first step was to gather intelligence on Draxon's movements and plans. Earth's spies and informants worked tirelessly to infiltrate Draxon's organization, gathering valuable information on his whereabouts, his allies, and his next targets. Armed with this intelligence, Earth's military forces launched a series of surgical strikes against Draxon's bases and supply lines. They used advanced technology and tactics to minimize civilian casualties and avoid escalating the conflict. At the same time, Earth's diplomats worked to strengthen the alliance with the Empire and win over the hearts and minds of the Empire's citizens. They emphasized the benefits of cooperation and shared prosperity, and worked to address the legitimate grievances and concerns of those who felt left behind by the new order. As the conflict dragged on, however, it became clear that Draxon was not going to back down easily. He had amassed a formidable army of loyal followers, and had even managed to acquire advanced weapons and technology that rivaled Earth's own. In a desperate attempt to end the conflict once and for all, Earth's leaders authorized a daring mission to capture Draxon and bring him to justice. An elite team of Earth's most skilled warriors and operatives was assembled, led by none other than Captain Aria Novak herself. The team infiltrated Draxon's stronghold, fighting their way through heavily armed guards and advanced security systems. In a fierce battle that lasted for hours, they finally cornered Draxon and his top lieutenants. But Draxon had one final trick up his sleeve. He revealed that he had planted a series of powerful bombs in key locations throughout the Empire, set to detonate if he was captured or killed. The bombs were linked to a dead man switch and would go off automatically if Draxon's vital signs flatlined. Captain Novak and her team were faced with an impossible choice. If they captured Draxon, they risked setting off the bombs and causing untold destruction and loss of life. But if they let him go, he would be free to continue his campaign of terror and violence. In the end, Captain Novak made the only choice she could. She offered herself as a hostage, agreeing to accompany Draxon and ensure his safety in exchange for the deactivation of the bombs. Draxon, sensing an opportunity to strike a blow against Earth's leadership, agreed to the deal. As Captain Novak and Draxon disappeared into the depths of space, the rest of the team could only watch in horror and disbelief. They knew that Captain Novak was sacrificing herself for the greater good, but they also knew that they might never see her again. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Would Captain Novak be able to reason with Draxon and find a peaceful resolution? Or would the conflict escalate once again, plunging the galaxy into a new era of darkness and despair? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. The alliance between Earth and the Empire had been tested like never before, and the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. As Captain Aria Novak disappeared into the depths of space with the rebel leader Draxon, the galaxy held its collective breath. The fate of the alliance between Earth and the Galactic Empire rested on the shoulders of one brave woman who had sacrificed herself to save countless lives. Back on Earth, Dr. Lena Patel refused to give up hope. She knew that Captain Novak was one of the most resourceful and capable individuals she had ever met, and if anyone could find a way out of this impossible situation, it was her. Dr. Patel gathered a team of Earth's top scientists and engineers, working around the clock to develop new technologies that could help them track down Captain Novak and bring her home safely. They analyzed every scrap of data they could find, looking for any clues that might lead them to Draxon's hidden base. Meanwhile, in a distant corner of the galaxy, Captain Novak was locked in a battle of wits with Draxon. The rebel leader was cunning and ruthless, but he had underestimated the strength and determination of his captive. Captain Novak used every skill and trick she had learned over her years of service to gain Draxon's trust and gather intelligence on his plans. She discovered that Draxon's ultimate goal was to overthrow the Empire and establish a new order based on his own twisted ideology. But Captain Novak also discovered something else, a weakness in Draxon's defenses that could be exploited. She knew that if she could just get a message to her team back on Earth, they could launch a surprise attack that would catch Draxon off guard and end his reign of terror once and for all. Using a hidden communication device that she had smuggled into Draxon's base, Captain Novak managed to send a coded message to Dr. Patel and her team. The message contained detailed schematics of Draxon's base, along with a plan of attack that would minimize casualties and maximize their chances of success. Dr. Patel and her team worked tirelessly to decipher the message and put the plan into action. They assembled a strike force of Earth's most elite fighters, equipped with the most advanced weapons and technology they had developed. As the strike force approached Draxon's base, Captain Novak put her own plan into motion. She staged a daring escape attempt, drawing Draxon's attention away from his defenses and creating an opening for the Earth forces to attack. The battle that followed was fierce and bloody, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. But in the end, Earth's superior tactics and technology prevailed. Draxon's forces were overwhelmed, and the rebel leader himself was captured and taken into custody. As the dust settled, Captain Novak emerged from the ruins of Draxon's base, battered but alive. She was greeted by Dr. Patel and the rest of her team, who had never given up hope that she would return safely. The alliance between Earth and the Empire had been tested like never before, but it had emerged stronger than ever. The two civilizations had worked together to defeat a common enemy, and in doing so, had forged a bond that would last for generations. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth and the Empire began the long process of rebuilding and healing. They worked together to establish new institutions and frameworks that would ensure lasting peace and cooperation between their two peoples. Captain Novak and her team were hailed as heroes, their bravery and sacrifice serving as an inspiration to millions across the galaxy. They had shown that even in the darkest of times, hope and courage could light the way forward. As the galaxy looked to the future, it did so with a renewed sense of purpose and unity. Earth and the Empire had learned that they were stronger together than they ever could be apart, and that by working in harmony, they could achieve wonders beyond their wildest dreams. And so, a new chapter began in the story of the galaxy, one filled with hope, promise, and endless possibility. The alliance between Earth and the Empire would go down in history as one of the greatest achievements of all time, a shining example of what could be accomplished when two peoples put aside their differences and worked towards a common goal. The future was bright, and the galaxy was ready to meet it head-on. In the years following the defeat of Draxon and his rebel forces, Earth and the Galactic Empire entered a new golden age of peace, prosperity, and progress. The two civilizations worked together to expand their knowledge of the universe, pushing the boundaries of science and exploration further than ever before. At the heart of this new era was the Intergalactic Alliance, a governing body established to facilitate cooperation and communication between Earth and the Empire. The alliance was led by a council of representatives from both civilizations, with President Sophia and Emperor Zorgan at its head. Under the guidance of the alliance, Earth and the Empire embarked on a series of ambitious projects that would change the face of the galaxy forever. They established new colonies on distant worlds, terraforming inhospitable planets into lush, thriving ecosystems that could support life. They also began to explore the mysteries of the universe itself, sending probes and manned missions to the farthest reaches of space. They discovered new wonders and phenomena that challenged their understanding of the cosmos, from black holes that bent the fabric of space and time to ancient alien civilizations that had achieved technological marvels beyond their wildest dreams. As they explored deeper into the unknown, Earth and the Empire also began to encounter new challenges and threats. They faced hostile alien species that sought to conquer and enslave them, as well as natural disasters and cosmic events that threatened to destroy entire worlds. But through it all, the alliance remained strong and united. Earth and the Empire pooled their resources and expertise to overcome every obstacle, their shared values of cooperation, compassion, and progress guiding them through even the darkest of times. At the center of this new age of discovery was Captain Novak, who had become a symbol of hope and inspiration for people across the galaxy. She continued to lead missions of exploration and diplomacy, using her skills and experience to build bridges between different species and cultures. One of Captain Novak's most important missions came when the Alliance received a distress call from a distant planet that had been devastated by a mysterious calamity. When she and her team arrived on the planet's surface, they found a scene of unimaginable destruction, with cities reduced to rubble and millions of lives lost. But amidst the chaos and despair, Captain Novak also found something else. A small group of survivors huddled together in the ruins of their world. Among them was a young girl named Zora, who had lost her entire family in the disaster. Captain Novak took Zora under her wing, promising to do everything in her power to help her and her people rebuild their shattered lives. She worked tirelessly to provide aid and support to the survivors, using the resources of the Alliance to bring in food, medicine, and other essential supplies. As the weeks turned into months, Captain Novak and her team slowly began to uncover the truth behind the disaster that had struck Zora's world. They discovered that the planet had been the victim of a deliberate attack by a rogue faction within the Empire, a group of extremists who believed that the Alliance was a threat to their way of life. Determined to bring the perpetrators to justice, Captain Novak launched an investigation that would take her to the heart of the Empire itself. She faced opposition and treachery at every turn, but she never wavered in her commitment to the truth. In the end, Captain Novak's perseverance and courage paid off. She exposed the rogue faction and brought its leaders to justice, earning the gratitude and admiration of people across the galaxy. She had shown once again that the Alliance was a force for good in the universe, a beacon of hope and justice in a cosmos filled with darkness and danger. As the galaxy looked to the future, it did so with renewed confidence and optimism. Earth and the Empire had weathered many storms together, but they had always emerged stronger and more united than ever before. They knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, side by side, as partners and friends. And so, the story of the galaxy continued, a tale of adventure, discovery, and hope that would be told for generations to come. Earth and the Empire had shown that when different peoples worked together towards a common goal, there was no limit to what they could achieve. The future was waiting, and they were ready to meet it head-on. As the Intergalactic Alliance continued to thrive and grow, Earth and the Galactic Empire reached new heights of achievement and prosperity. The two civilizations had become a shining example of what could be accomplished through cooperation, compassion, and a shared commitment to progress. At the forefront of this new era of peace and discovery was Zora, the young girl who had been orphaned by the tragic events on her home planet. Under the guidance of Captain Novak and the support of the Alliance, Zora had grown into a brilliant and compassionate leader, dedicated to using her skills and knowledge to make the galaxy a better place. As Zora took on more and more responsibility within the Alliance, she began to envision a future in which all the peoples of the galaxy could live together in harmony, regardless of their differences. She knew that this vision would not be easy to achieve, but she was determined to do everything in her power to make it a reality. To that end, Zora launched a series of ambitious initiatives aimed at promoting understanding and cooperation between different species and cultures. She established educational programs that brought together students from across the galaxy, encouraging them to learn from one another and to see beyond their differences. She also worked to establish new trade agreements and economic partnerships between Earth, the Empire, and other civilizations, creating a network of mutual benefit and support that stretched across the stars. As Zora's influence and reputation grew, she began to attract the attention of leaders and visionaries from across the galaxy. Many saw her as a symbol of hope and unity, a living embodiment of the ideals that the Alliance stood for. But not everyone was happy with the changes that Zora and the Alliance were bringing about. There were still those who clung to old prejudices and rivalries, who saw the idea of a united galaxy as a threat to their power and way of life. As tensions began to rise, Zara found herself at the center of a growing conflict that threatened to tear the alliance apart. She faced opposition and sabotage at every turn, but she refused to back down or compromise her principles. With the help of her allies and supporters, including Captain Novak and the leaders of Earth and the Empire, Zora worked tirelessly to find a peaceful solution to the crisis. She reached out to her opponents, seeking to understand their concerns and to find common ground wherever possible. In the end, Zara's efforts paid off. Through a combination of diplomacy, compromise, and unwavering commitment to her ideals, she was able to bring the warring factions together and to forge a new agreement that would ensure lasting peace and stability for the galaxy. As the crisis passed and life began to return to normal, Zara knew that there was still much work to be done. The Alliance had weathered a great storm, but there would always be new challenges and obstacles to overcome. But Zara also knew that she was not alone in this fight. She had the support of her friends and allies, the wisdom and guidance of her mentors, and the strength and determination of her own spirit. And so, as the galaxy looked to the future once again, Zara stood ready to lead the way forward. She had learned that true progress was not always easy, but that it was always worth fighting for. She had seen firsthand the power of unity and cooperation, the incredible things that could be achieved when different peoples worked together towards a common goal. And she knew that this was the key to building a better future for all the beings of the galaxy. As Zora looked out at the stars, she felt a sense of hope and possibility that she had never known before. The universe was vast and full of wonders, and she knew that there was still so much to discover and explore. But she also knew that the greatest adventure of all was the one that lay ahead, the journey towards a galaxy that was truly united, a place where all beings could live together in peace, prosperity, and harmony. And with that knowledge in her heart, Zara set out once again, ready to face whatever challenges and opportunities the future might bring, and to lead the way towards a brighter tomorrow for all the peoples of the galaxy.